Number one, you a nigga. That's strike one. Number two, you a nigga. That's strike two. Number three, you a nigga. That's strike three. And number four, the dumbass shit that you've been putting on Instagram and Facebook and shit. You know what I mean? Just in case they need to use that. All right? So you already come into every situation guilty until proven more guiltier. You are a nigga.
An ongoing fight between Cowboys legend Michael Irvin and Marriott Hotels. In court filings, Irvin is accused of making, quote, unwelcome sexual advances to an employee in the lobby of an Arizona hotel back in February. The hotel alleges Irvin was visibly intoxicated and repeatedly attempted to touch the employee without her consent.
And obviously he's very, very eager to clear his name and clear up these allegations.
On Wednesday, he and his attorneys launched a full-scale attack on the hotel for not releasing video of the 1.5-minute interaction. Attorney Eric Cedillo is not connected to the case, but says any audio could be vital in a defamation case.
Some of the allegations of the touching, the relationship, who came up to who first, incredibly important to kind of glean that from the video.
Marriott Hotels filed a protective order to keep the video from being released to protect the identity of their employee. The judge denied it and ordered it to be released to Irvin and his attorneys by Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Irvin has been out of work at the NFL Network and ESPN since this happened.
Defamation, the best defense is the truth. So it's a situation where he may not want a long game of actually taking this to trial.
Also in court filings, the hotel took umbrage with this statement. Irvin equates the allegations to something racially charged.
This just blows my mind that in 2023, we still dragging and hanging brothers by a tree.
No matter how much money you get, no matter how many fancy clothes you get, the jewelry that you got, the fucking foreign car that you got, no matter how many white women suck your dick or then gave you some money, no matter basically, you understand me, what environment you in now and you didn't elevate, nigga, you still a nigga. And don't forever forget that you still a nigga. As long as you in this country, you are still looked at as a damn nigga. And if they kill your motherfucking ass, they gonna be looking for nigga behavior.
You're about to experience a nigga moment.
Chicago, fuck y'all, suck my dick, bitch. I keep a goddamn gun for whatever. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about shit. Nigga, I keep a motherfucking gun. Nigga, I keep a motherfucking gun, nigga. Nigga, I keep a motherfucking gun, Chicago. Say, homie, you better, nigga, what you, man, you better sit down, homie.
Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male, causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga.
So today I will be discussing the game that not all will digest, right, let alone swallow. We will be discussing the ultimate strategies towards higher ground, you understand? And I will be discussing self-destructive behavior. And I want to break this down in ways so that way everybody enjoys it, everybody understands what I'm saying, and everybody is able to, you feel me, let me in when you hear a brother knocking, you dig? So I'm gonna go ahead and get it started, right? Again, this is just me going off history. History lets me know what to prepare for going into the future, being able to prophesize like I'm Nostradamus on, the predictions based off patterns that history has given me. The goal today is to gain a helicopter perspective / a overstanding on destructive behavior. This is seeing a bigger and different angle to the picture. So we're going to get outside the frame and the picture, and we're going to see it from a different perspective, a different angle, right? We're going to gain a overstanding. Instead of just riding on each street, we're going to be able to have a helicopter view looking down on multiple neighborhoods at one time, and we can then see the problem for what it is. We can then have a expanded horizon when we breaking down our mindset, and we're breaking down exactly what we need to do to look outside ourselves onward to the destruction, not just the current times or the events. So we got to look at the main goal, not just the situation that's in front of us.
One of the great writers by the name of Sultan and Naeem Latif, they wrote a book called Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma. And in this book, they did an assessment of the motivation for the decision-making process of black people in 2007. And as they began calculating the why we do what we do, when the math was in, they found that 94% of black people's decision in the current time was rooted in plantation life. And only 6% of our decisions in the modern time came from our God-centered African culture. That means, by sociological terms, that black people are suffering from what they call premature cognitive commitment. You know what that is, right? Premature cognitive commitment is whenever you take any creature while it is young and you raise it a certain way that when it grows old, it becomes what you trained it to be by itself. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
They found that you can take an elephant and tie it to a rope while he's a baby. And when the elephant grows old, even though that little rope is too weak to hold the full-grown elephant, the elephant full-grown is so strong it can break the rope, in fact pull the whole tent down that the rope is kept attached to. But because the elephant's mind has been damaged, and it's been made to believe that this rope is too hard, I can't break this rope. Premature cognitive commitment causes the rope to be bound by something that's inferior to itself. They found that you can take a fish and put them in an aquarium. Put a piece of glass in the middle of the aquarium, and every time the fish swim and hit the glass in the middle of the aquarium, they say, this is as far as I can swim. Next thing you know, they send it down into their memory bank and it's stamped on their DNA that we can swim no farther than this. At a certain point, with premature cognitive commitment, you can remove the glass and the fish will automatically turn around at the spot where the glass used to be located. They found you can put fleas in a jar.
Come on now.
And put a piece of plastic over top the jar. Now you know the fleas have the highest jumping ability and vertical of any creature in existence. A flea, which is only 2 centimeters in size, has a vertical of 36 inches. That means a flea by nature is born with the ability to jump 3 foot in the air from a baby. Yet you can put them in a jar that's only 8 inches tall. Put a piece of plastic over top the jar, and every time that flea jumps up and hits its head on the plastic, it begins to send a message to its memory that this is as high as I can jump. At a certain point, you can remove the plastic and the fleas will never jump out of that jar. Tell me that ain't what happened to black people.
I'm gonna go ahead and get into it for women as well. So for a woman, here's some good game just in case your square ass boyfriend is unable or lacks the understanding to even kick the correct knowledge in you, to even fill you up with the right knowledge and to give you, inspiration as a queen deserves. You dig? So I'm gonna tell you this: dicks and looks don't hook. If the man's spirit is corrupted, you might as well say fuck it, because there's nothing you could do if the nigga's not true. You dig? So I want everybody to know that it starts with the spirit of the man, the spirit, the ambition of the man. Dicks and looks don't hook. You dig what I mean? It has to be more deeper than the physical attributes. It has to be deeper than the physical satisfaction that you can get from that man. We look for our mother and our women. You know what I'm saying? Or, qualities of our mother. You dig what I mean? Being able to cook, being able to care, being able to have that emotional intelligence to sense something is off, even if we do not want to discuss it ourselves. You dig? I always say that you judge the apple by the tree, but sometimes the tree is corrupted. So you can't really blame the apple for its circumstances. You know what I mean? The environment isn't understood. That's why it appeals to gated community kids. You dig? The struggle to prosper, you understand, creates avenues outside the 9 to 5, right? And this attracts people who've had everything all their life. This is a self-destructive mentality. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people do shit because they have no other means to do it. Then you have a lot of kids who parents have everything.
Millions of white suburban kids have adopted black urban culture as their own, even though the closest most have gotten to inner city life is watching the movie Boys in the Hood. But do these kids want to be black?
It's what I am. I can relate to it. I know exactly what they're saying. It's just what it is.
My life, bitch, you don't want it, better not run up on it, bitch, you must be on it. Thinking I want it, then use a golden. From the jungle, hustling and struggle, got it from the muscle, been thugging since I was younger, so it's nothing. Jacking the head, touching the clean, dope up in the city, robbing, knocking niggas off the flash with it. Cash, I'm loving, murking, I chill, get it. This my life, tell me if you're fucking with it. All my niggas bucking with it. All my life I've been trying to get it. I'm born thoroughbred. You can try it if you want it, bitch, I'm gonna die getting bread, you heard me? Yeah. I'm all in on that gin, on that squeeze, and them beans got me ticked, you heard me? Nigga, this is my life. Bitch, you can't comprehend. You ain't no foot soldier, you ain't never spent the bin. A hollow tip the nigga with a pistol grip in your hand like Murder Man. Then hit him up, this my life, or your life with one chance, nigga, my life.
White suburban kids are doing it across America. Many teens have adopted the uniform of hip-hop in every suburb around the country. The sagging baggy jeans, the hat turned backwards, the designer shirts, and the Nike shoes. Even in the most exclusive of suburbs, like Great Neck, New York, kids have adopted the look.
The woman is the key to a strong man, but only a man can teach another man how to piss on the wall. Another woman cannot do that. A woman squats down. I don't care how much you think you're a man, or how much you dress like a man, or act like a man. If you got to squat down and take a piss and wipe your ass, you know what I'm saying? If you bleed for 5 days every month and don't die, then you know what I mean. Like, you know, you got to understand that you're a woman, and ain't nothing wrong with that. You are God. You are the most important, asset on planet Earth. There is no me without you. You know what I mean? You know, the whole purpose of this video is for us to make better decisions so we can go ahead and progress farther in this race. Again, they call it a race, the Mexican race, the white race, the black race. It's called a race for a reason. You know what I mean? Because you don't pick your team. You're a part of your team. Your skin tone is your team. Whether you believe that or not, you got to understand that, birds of a feather flock together. Again, you'll never catch a elephant, running with a mouse. You'll never catch an eagle with a duck, right? So again, even animals hang with their own kind. But we got to be rich within in order to go ahead and get this money out here in this exterior. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Your mind got to be right to get the grind right. You cannot preach what you practice until you practice what you preach. You know what I mean? So I'm preaching it. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to change the game up. I'm trying to pass the game down for the youngins. The greatest of all riches is desiring them. The greatest of all riches is desiring them. A patch is better than a whole. The pen is mightier than the sword. You know what I mean? Education is essential to a well-learned society. So we must sharpen our blade to the point where we can play chess with anybody. We can sit down and play chess with world-renowned masters. You know what I mean? Because we've done the due diligence. The best cause requires a good pleader. You dig what I mean? Your mind runs your body. Your mind runs your body. You understand? So we have to make the right decisions. Again, we have to make the right decisions, and we have to be able to respect time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that's all I got. Just know that in this life, we must accept challenges. It is harder to climb the mountain than to climb down. And I appreciate y'all watching. One love.